Brentford, Man United. Now, this game, phenomenal game.
I called the dub for Brentford, though. Let's get that out of the way real quick. I called a 2-1 dub for Brentford because, man, you are in shambles. That's why I hopped off that fucking boat last week.
It's a phenomenal game if you're not a Man United fan. I was sitting...
Oh, God, I can't imagine being one of those people right now.
The reason I wasn't able to watch a lot of the games on Saturday, I had a soccer tournament, right? And, sitting there talking banter with all the other soccer guys. All of them, of course, watch Premier League. We're all watching the games on our phones during, in between games. We had, 4 games that we had to play, right? Man U, Brentford come on, last game of the day. And I look at this one guy next to me, and I go, oh, I bet you Brentford win 4-0. Calling it right now.
It's not on camera, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Regardless, I looked at him, and I said, Brentford 4-0. He goes, no way, you don't know what you're talking about. Sure as shit, halftime, 4-0. I was like, well, it was halftime 3-0, and they scored all 4 goals in the first half.
Yeah, I watched I watched 3 out of the 5 games that were being played before that game. Tweeting about them, and I had woken up pretty early after being up pretty late. And I fell asleep about 5 minutes before kickoff. And for the Man U game, I fell asleep about 5 minutes before kickoff. I woke up very close to halftime, and I was like, "There's no way." I rubbed my eyes so many times. I was actually in disbelief, but at the same time, when I realized that is a scoreline I'm looking at, it didn't really surprise me too much, man. Ten Hag's a great coach, but those players, I feel like they're still demoralized from last season. I think that's genuinely a big part of what's going on. It's they don't have faith in themselves as a team still.
No, I'll tell you what's going on. It's the fact that they can't move the ball from defense to midfield to forward. They have struggled with this for the last 2 games, and I pointed it out last game. They cannot move that ball from defense to midfield even. And this was apparent in this game.
What I'm saying, though.
This game was way more apparent how inefficient they are at getting the ball from the back to the front.
You just have to press them high. You press them high, you win.
They didn't know what to do. I mean, you have De Gea giving the ball to Eriksen on his wrong shoulder into a defender for him to get stuffed. The defender gets the ball to the striker. Not a defender, sorry. Attacker, because they weren't even that far in. Counter, boom, Brentford goal. The first goal, I don't know what De Gea was doing. Like you said, you had to rub your eyes a couple times because you couldn't believe what I couldn't believe what I saw. I was watching the game on my phone. The sun was beating down at a weird angle, and I had a weird glare on my phone, and I had to angle it and be like, "Yo, what did I just watch? Did he?"
Yeah,
really
we watched the highlights
in?
Before the stream, and I literally, my man reached down and clapped at the ball like a seal. He looked like a brain-dead seal out there, because I guarantee a seal could have saved that with his fucking flippers before De Gea is going to save it like that.
I don't know how you let that in. And then, on top of that, you have the next mistake immediately after. 2 goals were because of De Gea that game. At least 2 of those goals that Brentford scored were because of De Gea, because of him just being just mentally not there. Or I don't know where he was, because he was definitely not in that game. That pass to Eriksen was about the definition. If you go in the dictionary and you look at the word hospital ball or the phrase hospital ball, that play comes up.
That play, yeah. It's just
that play
a
comes
quick
up.
little clip of that.
You set that man up for failure. There was absolutely nothing Eriksen was going to make the only decision.
If anybody blames Eriksen for that, they're wild. They're just wild. There's no way you could blame that man for that.
The more you watch that back, the more ridiculous it gets. I mean, that man
oh my God.
that was almost disgusting. That man made the one pass the only pass that he could have made in that position.
Bro, he had his right back out. Yeah, his right back was.
He was trying to hit the right back,
and that's what I'm saying. Is
they shit angle.
They're either because here's what they're doing. They're either rushing their play too much, or they're what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just gonna use lazily, just taking the ball and then kind of scanning the field and not having faith and making a pass to somebody they see open because there's somebody somewhat close. But then they sit there and wait on the ball and make a rushed pass after waiting too long. It's the hesitation that's killing you, or it's the lack of hesitation that's killing you. Guys, they can't find.
And that's the problem. There is.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Good finish. There is no synergy within that team.
None at all.
Arteta in the All or Nothing talks about. He did this. If you guys haven't watched the All or Nothing on Arsenal this season, watch it. It's phenomenal.
It's really good.
if you watch, there's one episode where Arteta talks about he has players memorize a board, right? And in this exercise, he puts up the numbers of the players, and then you have 45 seconds to write down the numbers and correlate to the players. And to your point, the reason that they hesitate is because it's not they don't have that synergy to know and expect where that person needs to be at the right time. They don't have that on that team.
They don't have that trust.
That all starts in the training grounds. So they have to change something up. I mean, whether if that's what it is, if they're so demoralized from last season, sell 10 players like Ragnarok mentioned that they need to do,
really think
and do a full rebuild, because then you're just setting yourself up for failure for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to get
fix
better.
These broken players, it's not going to happen.
If the players don't have faith that each other will be in the right positions at the right time, you're fucked. Like, there's nothing you can do. You're screwed. And I think that's where the problem lies, and that's why Man U will continue to struggle until they solve that issue.
I think there's actually one thing that the three of us playing at Fast 5 have started to come into like a good form with is like we know where we're going to be for the most part. Like, especially if you're out there playing, like, I know you're going to be in the right position. If I look up for a pass, I know I know one of you two are going to be open.
And especially
it's great
in a game as intense as any match in the Premier League, and especially against Brentford. No knock to Brentford. Brentford
looked great.
World-class team.
They
right now.
I think they're finishing top 10 easily.
Oh, I think top 10 is a fair bet.
Easily.
But prime example of knowing where your players are going to be, where your teammates are going to be. Brentford's goal was literally that. The second goal that they scored third goal that they scored was off a beautiful counterattack. The entire play is a prime example of this. So it started with the center back at Brentford grabbing the ball from Sancho, barely snagged the ball from Sancho, took a couple touches in the box, and launched it forward to their attacker. To, I think it was Ivan Toney, by himself on an island.
Yeah.
I think the next closest defender was...
They rounded it, took one touch, and made a beautiful pass.
He literally, the defender, kicked it all the way up to Ivan Toney. Ivan takes one touch off the bounce, perfect.
And it was a half volley pass, too.
It was a half volley pass, perfect to Mbuemo. What's his name? Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I was going to say pull it up.
Mbuemo. Perfect second touch pass to Mbuemo off the volley. And that's prime example of knowing where your teammates are going to be and having the faith that they're going to be there. Prime example. And Man United do not have that in their repertoire right now. That's why they will continue to struggle.
Yeah, I think what we should do here, I mean, hell, if you want to do it with me on Thursday, Tyler, I don't know what your work schedule looks like for Thursday, David, but...
What's good?
I say we do like a quick little 30-minute touch on just Man United as a team. Just a little mini episode. Just kind of talk about what their issues are, because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about within that team. Transfers they could still make right now. Things like that. And I think that would be a fun little episode for us to do.
If we were going to do something like that, we should probably have Tom on. To kind of
but I don't want to have him drive all the way over here for a 30-minute episode.
It would be a lot more than 30 minutes if he were to come.
That's also like a really good point.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Let's touch on, before we touch on the most intense game of the weekend, in my opinion, let's touch on the Nottingham Forest pulling out the 1-0 dub against West Ham.
Yeah, no, that was what we're on next.
Jesse Lingard, big 200,000
Well, hang on. I didn't say the prediction from last.
Predictions. Yeah, sorry.
From last week. Yeah. The Man U game.
Oh, for the Man U game.
Yeah, I didn't go over that.
Sorry.
So I said 2-1 Brentford. I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. Just not as bad as it happened. Then David and Tyler had Man U winning. David with 2-0 for Man U and Tyler 3-1 for Man U. A little too much faith in those boys over there. I after week one, I really didn't have any faith in this team. That's why I jumped ship off of my whole prediction of they're going to have a good season in any shape or form. It's definitely going to be like a 2-3 year rebuild if they keep the faith in Ten Hag and really make some changes. That's what it's going to come down to.
If they give him the money and the...
Well, it's not even so much the money. Like, get rid of certain players.
Well, he's got to buy players first in order to get rid of the others.
Yeah, obviously.
So
But is it a thing of wages where you need to get rid of these players before you buy new players? Because, I mean, how much is Harry Maguire getting paid right now?
Probably a lot. Ronaldo
Probably
alone
way
is
too
getting
much.
paid like
Yeah,
500,000.
Ronaldo alone. And honestly, like, they need to offload him. He's toxic as fuck for that team. I'm sick of... And you know what? He was trying to pump the crowd up.
I think the media just makes more of the situation than it actually is, which in turn probably hinders the morale in the locker room. But
No, I think Ronaldo is a little prima donna bitch, and it's showing heavier than it ever has right now. I think he's mad that he's not out of Man United, and he's giving like the minimal effort to show that he's still with the team.
I don't know, man, because even that last game, he looked like one of the only players that actually got some shots off on target or even looked somewhat dangerous, just from the highlights that I saw.
But I mean, again, it's a thing of like he's the one comparable player who still wants to win. Like it's not he just wants to win because of his own ego. He wants to score goals
You
for
say
himself.
prima donna bitch. I think he is passionate. He is. Just
I think
very
he's passionate, but I think
what
he's
a
more
move.
passionate. Yeah, beautiful.
What a move.
I think he's more passionate for his own stats than he is for how the team comes out and does. If he scores, I don't think he's as mad.
Bro, if you're going out there every week and you see McTominay and Fred starting every week, and by halftime you're down 4 goals, what do you want from him? What do you expect him to do? I understand the point that you're making with the fact that
It looks like he's playing though, or is that just behind?
no,
It is, bro. It's not picking up the lag on stream. That's crazy.
No, that happened already.
Did that already happen?
Oh, is this behind?
It's not. This is live as fuck.
So what you guys aren't seeing is the fact that the TV,
I'm fucking blowed.
the TV is
I'm gonna take a video
frozen,
of this for
and David's playing off of the computer.
Wow,
screen.
and he
Alright,
fucking
let me try
scored,
something.
bro.
Oh, there it
is.
goes.
There it is.
Oh, there it goes.
Wow, they
Wow.
really let this
That's
man make the
so
comeback
far.
on you. They really let this man make the
Luckily,
comeback
hey,
on you.
I got the
before
video
it's
of it switching from lagging to not lagging.
not lagging.
Yeah, I'm glad I got that on video. That's wild.
I don't know. To wrap up on the Manchester United point.
Yeah, let's get done with this shit.
I think I would be extremely frustrated if I was Ronaldo as well. I've been a player in that similar kind of situation where your team just is not performing and you do as much as
Listen,
you can.
you're talking about us at Fast Five. You can just say it.
I'm talking from prior experiences. But when you have the energy and you have that passion, that desire to win, but your teammates don't, it's frustrating. So I completely